Big tax trouble for NBC News host Al Sharpton, according to a new report. All of Sharpton's for-profit enterprises failed to pay taxes. Weekly Standard's Mike Warren has been following this story. He joins us now from Washington. Mike, I presume you are not surprised by this story.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should be surprised. You look at Al Sharpton's career, he's sort of played the role of the charlatan, of trying to sort of gin up outrage with some fake or maybe not completely honest stories about things. And of course, he's also had tax problems in the past. You put that all together, and the fact that we're still talking about Sharpton in 2015, he's also somewhat of a survivor. So I'm not surprised to see that he's found these creative ways to avoid paying taxes. But this is, this looks pretty bad, and I wonder if he's finally going to have to, pay his bill.
Well, you said he found creative ways. Is the creative way is that he knows the president pretty well? In fact, very well.
Exactly. I mean, he's somewhat of an unofficial advisor, and it would be one thing if he were just a TV host or just an agitator or just an activist, but he's all those things and fills that unofficial advisor role. I mean, he's an actual player in Democratic Party politics, and I think this should raise a lot of questions among Democrats about whether this is somebody they want to be associating with.
Well, isn't the lesson here that we need to reform the tax code so guys can't game the system? Isn't that really the big lesson?
That's one lesson, and of course, whatever tax reform proposals are coming up, a lot of times the big guys still find new ways to find loopholes and things. But this also sounds like something where he's actually delinquent according to the laws, and so you have to wonder, why is the IRS not really actively pursuing Mr. Sharpton?
Well, I can't imagine what the answer to that would be. Why isn't the IRS knocking on his door? I mean, this is so apparent. I mean, it's
outrageous.
Yes,
is that the word that you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking
outrageous?
for. Yes, Mike. I mean, you're not talking about some of the games that you can play as a reverend being a nonprofit. You're talking about his for-profit regular businesses that businesses have to pay taxes.
And there's a lot of question about what these businesses actually were doing. They had some of the same addresses, and then one folded, and then the next one popped up at the exact same place with a completely different name. And I think it really plays into this sort of entire story of Sharpton's career, which is mixing charity and public service and his own personal gain. And again, when the bill comes to be called, he's nowhere to be found. I think that's a real problem for him, and maybe this is the end of the line.
I guarantee you the IRS goes after shams pretty aggressively. They would for you, they would for me, but apparently not for him. All right. I appreciate it very much. Mike Warren, appreciate you coming on today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.